Hello, this is Kale. I am here to show you exactly what my multi-purpose script does on my blog. You can get to my blog at kalegb.com. I'm going to try to cut this to 10 minutes, so I'm going to be a little bit fast. But basically, there's a script out here that I just posted that will basically just install anything from a batch file. So I'm going to show you how to use that script and what it does and what variables that you need to run on it. So first, I would suggest you go to my blog, and then you come in here and copy all of this data here. So we can just copy this here, and I would put it into Notepad++, which is a really good editor that I have. And I would suggest you download this. This is a really, really excellent editor. So we'll have two files here. We'll have a variables file and a main file. Grab the variables portion of this and put that into this side. That's just a holder in my blog, so that is not needed. Just select all of that and then post it in here. And then what we'll do with this is we need to save that variables file. I would suggest saving that in some kind of scripts directory. And once we go there, then save this as the variables.ps1 file. Those quotes means that it's going to save it as a PS1, so you don't have to worry about the text at the bottom. So then save this as the main.ps1 file, and that'll jump in scripts as well. So basically the way that the script works is depending on the function, you just create new functions for whatever you're doing. So let's say we're doing a deployment of some scripts or some patches for Windows. So we would then make a deployment whatever, and that would be your patches. So then we will load these two now back into Notepad++ since this is not going to work. And we will also remove this. So you have your variables in your main PS1 now. At this point, if you do go into the scripts directory, into the one that you just created, we'll go into PowerShell, and you do a /main.ps1, it will run, but it's just going to sit here and tell you exactly what you're missing. So what we'll do is we'll just run through exactly what it's missing by just showing you kind of what the script is and does. First of all, the variables file that is listed is going to be here. So this is looking for the variables.ps1 file, and we already have that there, so it's not going to give you set the correct path for that, right? Number two, you go into the variables ps file, and basically this means that it needs psexec sitting in the directory, so go download the ps tools, I already have it, and just copy that psexec into that directory, which guess what, it looks like that that I cut it last time that I was testing it. So we'll just go back into, actually I think I have it in downloads. Sorry. Downloads, ps tools, psexec, that's exactly what we need. So just put that psexec file in there and that works. So then we have just, this is a set alias on that. Basically these are the patches to install. So you would do something like patch.1.msu in here. Basically this holder is just to copy whatever you put in this to the server. So it's going to copy any patches or anything that you're doing directly to that server. So you can do this by doing commas and then putting another patch here. Right now it's just going to copy psexec just to show you that it's copying something. The hotfix ID here is for the verify5 function, which I'll show you in a bit. These log files, the script does a log check, so make sure that you have a log directory within your deployment because it's going to create a logs both for the patching as well as the verify of the script. We need a servers.txt file, that way it knows what servers you want to install. So we're going to do a servers.txt file, then we're going to go into that servers text file and we're going to put in the server that we're going to install to today. So you just do that by multiple lines. If you leave spaces in there, I have a little script that removes the spaces. You'll need to install that batch file. So the install batch file, what it does is, and we'll do .pat. It's going to do whatever you want. So in here, and if you're doing a MSU or a MSI or whatever, that you would put in here msi exec, /silent, whatever patch dot msi or whatever you're doing. So you can do that. Or simply for this demonstration, we're going to do it is working directory on the remote server. Again, you can get creative with this, and you can do IP configs and, just save whatever you want and do whatever you want within the batch file. It's going to run as local system via psexec on the remote system. So this is just another place to grab the install.bat file. You can name this whatever you want because this is a variables file. Here's your remote system root. So I can't do multiple roots yet, so just put in whatever the root drive is. The patch directory name, you can name that whatever you want. Again, that remote server here is that C. So if you had like an M or something, you would replace those with M, and you don't need to edit this. So that's done. Then the main PS1 file, I want to just go over this real quick before we run this, is that looks for a variables script so that it can load all the variables in. Basically, I split these up so that you could just edit this, and you wouldn't actually break the main file. So this is the more editable portion. The only thing you would ever edit in this is this variables.ps1 if it can't find it. Obviously, I have to load that before you can start putting in your variables. So if you name this variable or something, right, you'd have to rename that in the main PS1. So it does test pass for that. It does test pass for the text file, for the log directories, and here's where it gets all the dates for the logs. It's going to do a verify user. Basically what I wanted to show you here was don't be scared of running this at any time because it just stops and waits for you to say, is this correct? It gets you kind of an overview of exactly what it's going to do, where it's going to go, and then you type in yes. You can type in really anything and it'll exit. The no doesn't really mean anything, but it basically is going to copy out the patches to install that you had in your variables.ps1 to the remote system. It's going to install the patches by doing a system count psexec call into that install.batch, and it's just going to run whatever you put in there. Verify function, you have to script this on your own. So basically, this is the questions that it's asking you. And then here is where I have it, where it's going to write in the logs, verifying hotfix to server. And then it's going to do a WMI object, and it's going to look in the Win32 Quick Fix Engineering and WMI for the computer that you're on, where the hotfix ID equals whatever hotfix ID you had in the variables file. So basically, if in the verify log, it's going to have all these pound signs, and then it's going to show you another line. So if you see like pound sign verifying da-da-da, pound sign verifying da-da-da, pound sign verifying da-da-da, then that means that it didn't verify that, so that server needs to be relooked at. But if it says pound sign verifying da-da-da and then gives you a second line, that means that server's good. So that's kind of how I'm doing verification functions. This will have to be scripted for whatever you're doing. So you might have to do some scripting if you want to actually verify that it happened. The function cleanup is actually cleans up after itself, after it copies everything out. So we will actually run this real quick. The script has a little bit bug in it that it doesn't stop transcript if you just Control-C out of it, unfortunately. So we'll do a main.ps1. It says that there's a transaction started in the logs. It wants to install, aka copy out the psexec to the following web servers. You say yes. It runs out there, and it will install that. And basically, let's see, install patch.bat. I might have messed that up. Install patch. I said batch. Ah, you probably caught that maybe earlier. So we will say no verify. It goes out there and cleans up, and then we'll rerun this. Yes, it installed it out there. It went. It psexec'd it to the remote file or to the remote server. Here's our directory. The whole function works. It's pretty much that easy to deploy. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, just feel free to comment on my blog, and I will get back to you. I haven't run this script in a really long time. It was for my last job, so I don't know how much I can update it, but if you have updates also, just send it to me. Feel free to communicate with me. Thanks, guys. See you later.